What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to one-shot Professor X, and we're going to go over some variants that you're going to be able to take out. And it's not easy, believe it or not, but it's a little easier than you might expect. It's pretty interesting to see how it's not that hard to counter him. Because he's very vulnerable to trauma stuns, which is pretty standard in this game now. A lot of people have it. I want to go over all of my Crucible, and we'll go over the Professor X matches as well, and how to beat him and how to kind of navigate him as you see fit. So round one, we went against Evan B. And in room number one, this team is just giving me a headache, especially if it's a gear tier 20. Omega Red Phoenix Force just shreds. He's really good in this room because it's really hard to kill him because he heals off of his passive. Super Scroll as well, if you end up letting him live for whatever reason, his basic is going to kill 4 people because he's going to have a bunch of those vulnerables. So this ended up failing, came in here again with the same thing, and then came in here with Orcus with Shadow King just to clean this up. So there are things that work better into this, and we'll get into it, obviously. Room number 2 just had a mishmash of crap, honestly. Kestrel to make sure the summon didn't spawn, Mephisto to take out Scientist Supreme as quickly as possible, Kahori to take out Scientist Supreme as quickly as possible as well, and then APOC and Rogue to take out the rest, essentially. It was pretty straightforward, not too bad there. Room number 3, if you're in a bind, you could use full Illuminati to take out the Emma, Black Knight, Ms. Marvel, Omega Sentinel room, even with Kahori in here. Illuminati does really well. Room number 4, Superior 6 still taking out Liberty. Doesn't really matter where they are. Room number 5, Cabal, Kang, Titania against Thunderbolts. Did pretty well, honestly. You'll see Thunderbolts are going to be a problem, especially people that bought Thunderbolts. They're nuts. They're very good. They're very tanky with safeguard and defense up as well. So yeah, be aware of that. Room number 6 did a pre-taunt Nightcrawler, Weaver, Null, and Odin to take out this. Pretty much just Astral pre-taunt with Mephisto. Worked out pretty well. Let's get a defense. So he used Vigilante on my Vigilante in room number 1. Did a mirror, which is interesting. I think this comes to coin flips. And if you lose the coin flip, I think you lose. But I didn't end up watching this, so maybe he lost the coin flip and it didn't matter because he had gear tier 20. Room number 2, Odin, Cabal, Ultimus taking out this. Pretty inefficient other than Odin, obviously. But I'll take it. So, and then Immortal took out this pretty well. Figured as much. That's not too crazy. The Annihilator Pav Susk room. Room number 4, Mirror the Starjammers. Room number 5, Illuminati Kestrel barely squeaking through here. This was the Phoenix Force three-piece Thunderbolt. And then room number 6 failed twice. Tried to do Black Cat Night Stalkers. Didn't work. Did Black Cat Night Stalkers again, changed the placement, did not work, and then came in with Old Man Logan, Nightcrawler, Gore, Emma, and yeah, I do not deserve this victory. He actually messaged me. We chatted for a smidgen of time. So Evan, if you're watching, shout out to you, buddy. He was on the road as well, so I think he had a little bit of a road trip this weekend, just as I did, which is why you didn't see any of these fights live, unfortunately. Round number 2, Captain Canuck. So Captain Canuck absolutely shredded my defense. So let's get into it. My attacks here. So room 1 did a pre-taunt Old Man Logan, Doc and Kestrel, and Odin, and then I ended up not using APOC by accident. I should have done APOC instead of Kestrel. Again, I was rushed as well because I was on vacation just trying to get things done. I didn't use APOC, didn't have anything to stop the safeguard. Instant loss here. Worked fine with Odin, but obviously pretty inefficient. Room number 2. Scientist Supreme stops Vigilante here. Fun fact. So Scientist Supreme puts the slow out there on the Night Stalkers, and then Blade passive flips that slow, and then ends up causing you problems. So Vigilante did not work here. It didn't even tickle them. And then I used Cabal, Kang, and Endgame Thanos because I had him. Room number 3, one-shotting Professor X. So you see Professor X, Mephisto, pre-taunt Emma, SK. This is a pretty easy one-shot, honestly. So my comp here is Hercules, Null, Mephisto, Black Cat, and SK. Didn't even need Odin here. Hercules is just a throw-in. Honestly, I didn't know who else to use. I just used a faster character that had an ability block as well. Potentially if Professor X wasn't dying for whatever reason. I wanted to make sure I had an ability block, but this fight is absolutely cake. So there's a lot of factors to this here. So we currently have a room bug that is giving, on defense, Sasquatch just spawns with an exhausted. Mephisto also spawns with an exhausted. I don't know why. Don't ask. I don't know what's causing this at all. But this does not affect the match at all. I was able to get this to work last week as well. I had a friend make this work as well. So what happens here is there's two different ways this can go. There's a coin flip between their Mephisto and your Mephisto. And no matter what that coin flip is, it does not matter. I actually got the better side of the coin because their Mephisto is going first and doing his special. And what's going to happen here is he's actually going to put taunt on Professor X. But it doesn't matter because his first turn or my first turn is going to be the exact same thing. So you see they're going to special on my Mephisto turn 1. Now he's going to put that taunt out on Xavier. So I have two options here of what you can do. So I could use the basic to take off half of the HP from Professor X. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use the ultimate to put the exhaust out there. And what the exhaust does is the exhaust is going to make it so that Professor X does not clear any negative effects with his passive when I use ultimates. His Mephisto is going to special on Hercules as well because we're in the room where the specials cost way less. Now, again, we would have this taunt on their Professor X no matter what. Now, what I don't want to do is use the special on Professor X because if I do, I'm going to be taking the taunt off of him. So I use the basic just to get some damage on him, defense down, some bleeds. Fine, cool. Then what we're going to do is we're going to Black Cat special on Professor X, and that's going to stun him. So now he's got trauma stun. Now, what happens is, even if I use my ultimates, he's not going to be reducing the negative effects because of the exhaust I put out on him. So he's not going to be reducing that trauma, that stun, all the defense down, disrupted, bleeds, all that stuff. So I'm able to use the null ultimate here, get that battlefield effect out there, get that darkness rolling out. Now, the darkness does not do anything, but I wanted to use the ultimate because Shadow King does do the more damage when you do the ultimate because then he's going to ping. Emma Frost is going to use the special on Black Cat here, which is fine. If he could have used it on Mephisto or on Hercules there, and that would have been a potential death there, so that wouldn't have been great, but it wouldn't have really mattered much because you'll see I don't really need Hercules all that much after this, or Mephisto. So Hercules going to special on Professor X here. This is why I wanted Hercules in here, but I don't think it really matters. I just wanted somebody with new stats and heavy damage and a controlling effect to go out there, and he's relatively quick as well. So he's going to do the special on Professor X here, and then with the striker attack, I think he's gone here if I remember correctly. He's almost gone, and he hits again. So yeah, he's gone. And then now we have Shadow King getting the special on Emma because Emma's got a taunt as well, just like Sasquatch does. So Emma going to get that taunt over there. Awesome. We got the ability block on her now. Mephisto's got disrupted, a goner as well, which is great. And you'll see Shadow King is going to do the special on Hercules here. And even with overpowered, it's not doing the damage it normally does. It does not kill my Mephisto, but the Raider crit ends up doing it. But he actually almost lived there, even with overpowered, because of the mark of Mephisto. Then Sasquatch takes his turn, goes on Black Cat. Doesn't really matter at this point. Black Cat, I have to go on the taunt for Sasquatch. I get those dodges off of Shadow King as well. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to be specialing again because this is the room where we can special a bunch, right? This is room 3 here. So doing good here. The pings are coming out. Null does the special on good old Shadow King here. He's going to get the striker attack, do some pretty good damage, get the turn meter rolling because now Professor X is dead. And then, yeah, pretty straightforward, man. It's not too bad. There's no RNG to this fight at all. So it's really interesting to see how this actually works and being able to one-shot Professor X. So be very wary what you put on defense with Professor X because there are things that make it harder to one-shot. And I'll show you one version that is very, very hard to one-shot. You need a lot of pieces to do it. But that was pretty straightforward. So getting that one-shot on Professor X works out well. That Black Cat stun does really, really great things. And yeah, I mean, Mephisto, Null, to be able to one-shot a Mephisto and a Professor X, I think is a win in my books, honestly. That's a big win. So nothing wrong with that. One shot there. Rune number 4, Starjammers. I had him on offense because Copley forced me to. I really hate that, by the way. And one shot this room pretty easily. I changed up the plan stupidly. I'll go over what the plan should have been. Immortal did not beat this. You see a 3 diamond gear tier 20 Hyperion. He actually survived and then one shot my entire team. So that was exciting. He ulted and deleted everybody. I think only like Polaris and I think Polaris and Cable survived, and then he just deleted everybody. Came in, had to clean it up. Rune number 6, Superior 6, super easy. What I should have done is I should have done Immortal here into Liberty, and then I should have done Superior 6 like Ares into this, because Superior 6 does really well here. Rewinds them, flips their defense up on spawn, counteracts the speed bar that Hyperion's giving. So it's pretty much a net 0 because I think I rewind them by 36%. He gives them 30% speed bar. Doesn't really matter. And then Starjammers were supposed to go in here as well. And then I was going to do Cabal to just face tank this room. So I messed up the plan entirely because I'm dumb. But it's fine. Vacation mode. It is what it is. Rune number 1, he used Vigilante against my Omega Red, Phoenix Force, Sus, Glad, and Doctor Strange. Overpowered was a good factor in this. Silver Sable just deleted my whole team, essentially. Rune number 2, Null Hive, taking out good old Orcus with Ultimus. Rune number 3, Starjammers went into my same room. He did the same thing here. Rune number 4, almost failed this. Old Man Logan, APOC, Nightcrawler, Echo, Odin into a full Illuminati. Or Illuminati with Emma. So Illuminati, Emma, still a good room if you have Starjammers on defense somewhere, because then they can't just Starjammers it. And even if they can Starjammers it, it's not the best fight in the world because they don't have turn meter from Captain Britain, and then they don't have speed stat from Emma. So pretty interesting here. I liked it. Rune number 5, we have Immortal going into my Thunderbolts. And my Thunderbolts, I ran out of gold, and I'm still struggling on gold. So I had Tiny, Victoria, Hand, and Hyperion. Working on it. Don't make fun of me. And then rune number 6 did Cabal, Kang, and Moonstone into a Night Stalkers with Dormammu. So he did very, very well. He got a 50,200. But I used that as kind of a science round. We had chatted behind the scenes. I knew what he scored already, so I decided to go science and try to one-shot the Professor X, and I did. So let's get in here. I faced another Professor X against Boosh, and I think this is who I'm thinking of as well in Twitch chat. So shout out to you, Boosh, if this is you. Nice to see you, buddy. You tried to use Vigilante here, but I realized my wallet's not large enough and I don't have overpowered, and I shouldn't have done this. So Vigilante did not do what they needed to do. Silver Sable did not delete everybody like I thought she would. And then, yeah, I ended up getting deleted and then did Immortal. Immortal worked pretty well. It was fine. Rune number 2, full Illuminati, taking out Annihilators, Pav, Sus. Did really well, honestly. Illuminati did great here, stopping the turn meter from Sus and then just doing good things. I did almost die to the Gore with Overpowered here. Everybody was 1 health, but then Hank Pym healed all of them, so that was really good, but that was definitely a pucker. Rune number 3, did not clear this, so here's what happened here. Excuse me. So he had Kingpin, Emma, Null, Xavier, Odin. And I think this is probably the hardest combo. So if you still want to run Professor X on defense, I still think this is the best defense to run here. Because Professor X, Odin, and Null are just a 3-piece that are disgusting. So stopping your Mephisto packs right away with Null, obviously, and then Odin's just a big nuisance, and then you're stopping the speed stat from Emma as well, and then Kingpin is really, really great. Kingpin's stock has gone way up recently because he's a pre-taunt that can't be stopped, essentially. So everybody that has stuff that stops pre-taunts in their kit does not work on summons, and Kingpin has a summon on spawn that gets taunt, so it doesn't work. So I had to use Kestrel here, which is just a really annoying. So what I tried to do was Kestrel, Iron Patriot, Mephisto, Black Cat, and Kang. So the thought process behind this was Iron Patriot to give damage to Mephisto and Kang and Black Cat, Kestrel to stop the summon so I didn't have the pre-taunt, Mephisto obviously to do a bunch of damage, and I tried to one-shot Odin right off rip, and it did not work well. Stun Professor X with Black Cat, and then Kang was going to be the finisher on Odin here. Did not work the way I thought it would. I got deleted because of the mind controls, unfortunately. So the way you can actually beat this is using is using this team here. So I actually have it in my save squad. So let's go to it here. And I was testing this in war, and it does work. It does work really well. So if you go all the way to the bottom here, we have this team here. So we have Odin, Mephisto, Black Cat, Old Man Logan, and Shadow King. So the way that's going to work is, let's go back into it, and I'll show you guys. The way this is going to work is you have Mephisto, the special. Obviously, he's not going to be able to use his battlefield effect or anything like that. So the special is going to take the taunt off of the minion. Then what's going to happen is you're going to start all-inning on Odin. And then what happens is when Black Cat takes her turn, Black Cat is going to special on Professor X, stun Professor X, and then Mephisto, or not Mephisto, then what's going to happen is Odin is going to end up using his special, but he's not going to go before, so we don't have the issue of him going before anybody else, or anybody else going before him. So he's not gonna assist, and then Old Man Logan's gonna stop the charges. There's no battlefield effect, there's no charges, and then from there we zoom in, and then you pretty much just take out, make sure Professor X dies, because you got to make sure he's staying controlled. He's gonna die, and then after that they really don't have much damage. Null obviously gonna start providing a lot more damage the more stars he gets, but you're able to kind of overpower it with Old Man Logan doing great things, especially once he gets his claws out. He's gonna put so many bleeds out there and trauma and all that stuff. Just be careful when you're using ultimates, because Professor X is going to be clearing those negative effects when you use ultimates, because he doesn't have the exhausted. But once you're able to get to Mephisto ult, you use that Mephisto ult and you get that battlefield effect up, and then you have that extra armor and that kind of stuff. You're taking out Professor X pretty easily. You have that drain, all that good stuff. So it's not too bad, but this is definitely the hardest version here, because then you have Odin as well. Odin with the battlefield effect, just swipey, 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 and it takes out everybody. This is a very hard matchup, though. I think this is the hardest defense if you want Professor X on defense, so you're welcome. If you have Professor X, put this in any room. It doesn't really matter. The room rules don't mean anything this season, but this is a really, really good defense. So yeah, that's how you one-shot this as well. You're welcome. Room number 4, Vigilante. Awesome. Does pretty good things here. Took out this. Didn't really matter. Ate the Thanos, and it didn't really matter here. Room number 5, did just a mishmash against Thunderbolts here, because I used Superior 6 here, I believe. Yep. So roll for the turn meter for APOC. Guardian for the offense up on spawn. Shadow King for the pings. Hercules, because again, another just big character. AoE. Ults can ult, can special, does good things, and then APOC, obviously, to do APOC things. Not too bad, 83.59. And then room number 6, barely squeaked through with a one-shot here. Old Man Logan and Superior 6 and Vulture against a Black Knight Illuminati. And then on defense, he ended up failing one in here. Immortal got rolled. I'm assuming Super Scroll got to take a turn, basicked, and killed his entire team. Then he came in with Vigilante. Route number 2, Starjammers on Starjammers action. Route number 3, did my Kahori is faster than yours. Did the Loki, Kahori, Dorm, Guardian, and Quasar. No clue what Quasar provided here. I haven't even read his kit. He's a war character, so yeah, I'm probably not even going to build him until I absolutely need him, because I have no gold. Route number 4, we got APOC, Nightcrawler, Black Cat, Echo, and Mephisto doing really well against a Odin, Echo, and Sasquatch room here. Route number 5, we got Emma, Kang, Cabal going into, again, a baby Thunderbolts just getting deleted really quickly. And then route number 6 did Big Time Spider-Man with Night Stalkers against Scientist Supreme Night Stalkers. So that worked out really well because he had Night Stalkers on offense. So yeah, I went 1 and 2 while on vacation. Honestly, I'll take it. I'm happy I got 1 win, but I figured out how to one-shot Professor X, so I will take it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for my defense yet, if I'm just going to keep Odin, Mephisto, Null, everything on offense so I can keep one-shotting Professor X's and just go full out, hey, we're going to play the efficiency game, and I'm going to win because I'm going to one-shot your entire defense. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided, but that'll be a video for probably Thursday. Today's Tuesday. That's right. I know what day of the week it is. But yeah, that's going to be how you one-shot Professor X. That's how I did in this Cosmic Crucible week. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know how you are doing. Until next time, this has been Duel 'em. Later, MSFers.